Yeah, there you go.
Too fast, it gets too big. And if you go too slow, because it's oh, I see. So your spreader, you should see my bicep right now. That's cool.
Oh. You gotta pay to play.
Ah! It was in it. I lost that point.
Wait a minute.
Like this.
Okay, you want to have your stick like that. Yes?
Look at the pin.
Oh, good. Okay.
Into the cavalry had a tendency to ride circles around the Army of the Potomac, literally. That was kind of a make them look bad, make us look good kind of thing. Didn't really produce a whole lot other than made them look bad. So you would move pretty fast. So you had to carry it, right? So if you look at what, I don't have everything on it, but you can kind of see, I got a bedroll behind me, right? It's all right. We're going to go in a circle. So we're going to come back this way. So bedroll. Normally I might have an extra shirt, maybe a change of drawers or something like that, rolled up in my bedroll. I might have a great coat or something else across the front of my saddle. Got saddlebags, so I got my water in my canteen. Saddlebags, typically I'd have maybe some hardtack, something for me, some jerky, something like that. If I was really lucky, I might have some grain for him. But if you know your history of the Civil War in the East, it was pretty much all fought over the same ground over and over again. So in Virginia, there wasn't much left for these guys to eat. It definitely didn't look like this. So the average lifespan of a horse, once it was impressed into service, he's not going to go that far.
Drury's Bluff is? No. Well, Drury's Bluff is on the James River. We're about 80 feet up above the James River, about 8 miles south and east of Richmond. Now, originally our company, Company B, was formed in Mobile Bay, Alabama, recruited in that area and along the Gulf Coast as far as New Orleans. After the federal blockade went into effect, we basically no longer had the use of our ships, nor eventually of some of our naval installations. Company B was transferred up here to Virginia in order to secure the James River. And as you know, the James River is navigable all the way up to Richmond. The last thing we want is for Yankee gunboats to be going up the James River all the way to our capital. So we're stationed here. This is on a bend in the river, on a bluff, about 80, like I say, about 80 feet above the water. So we've got artillery on our up here at Camp Beale. We've got infantry in rifle pits. We sunk some ships, old ships in the channel. We've got a log and chain boom across the river to keep the Yankee gunboats from coming up. We can open that up so our gunboats can go down. But in '62, during McClellan's Peninsular Campaign, they did try to send some gunboats up the river. There was actually a battle here, and we actually turned them away. Now, you know those Yankee gunboats, a lot of them nowadays are ironclads. So the cannonballs just sort of bounce off. But they do still have to open up those gun ports in order to take a shot. All right? And if they do that, they're vulnerable. Either to our big bored rifle over there, that parent rifle, or to one of these. I mean, they're only, what, less than 150 yards away, so it's not like it's a big long shot. We can aim right through that gun port and get that gunner. Not a good day for him. Now, a few years ago, that wouldn't have been possible. Up through the Mexican War, the standard arm was a smoothbore musket. And it's just that, smooth inside, like a pipe. We're using black powder, which is very dirty when it's fired. And after just a couple of rounds, it just gets caked in there, residue. So, in order to be effective, a musket has to use a projectile that is a bit undersized. So, it's undersized. It's a round lead ball. It goes down the barrel. And if it's clean, it'll just fall all the way down. You may have to ram it down once it gets a bit dirty, but it's loose enough so that you can actually get it back down there against the powder charge. But it is loose and it's a smooth bore. So when you fire it, that ball will microscopically bounce along that barrel, up, down, left, right. Whichever way it last bounces when it comes out, that's the way it goes. So it's accurate. It's typically accurate 75, maybe 100 yards. So if we're standing shoulder to shoulder in formation, firing massed fire, I shoot it at 75 to 100 yards away at the enemy in their formation. I've got about a 50% chance of hitting one of them. And that's less than 100 yards max. Well, that bullet, that round ball, is coming out at about, what we say, about 400 feet per second. Because a lot of those gases are coming out around the ball because it's loose. So it's inefficient. I think it was in 1846, a Frenchman and a lieutenant in the French Army invented a new kind of bullet. This is what he invented. This is called, we call it a mini ball. It's not a ball, is it?
Oh.
It's a conical bullet. But the other major improvement is the back end of it. You'll notice that the back of it is hollowed out. This bullet is made of soft lead. Like the musket ball, it's undersized so that it'll go down even a dirty barrel. But when you fire that powder charge that this bullet is sitting on, what we call the skirt, the back end of that bullet, expands. It goes out like this. Now it makes a nice tight fit in the barrel. So all those gases that escaped around a musket ball are now helping propel that bullet. This is not a smooth bore, but a rifle. So now that soft lead is making a tight fit in those lands and grooves, and it is spinning. So it's stabilized. Instead of being accurate 75 or 100 yards, it's coming out 800 or 900 feet per second, and that's now it's accurate about 4 times as far, 300 to 400 yards. You know, before we were standing at 75, 100 yards apart, and not that many casualties from a volley. That's not the case anymore. All of a sudden, a lot of people are getting hit. So, why is that? Well, it's not because we're all better shots. It's just a heck of a lot more accurate.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
That was invented in 1846, so was that used at the beginning of the Civil War?
Yeah, it was. It was. There were still some smooth bores out there in some of the older arsenals. Some people, if you go to a reenactment, will be using a 69 caliber rifle or gun. A lot of those were still smooth bores, although some of them had been retrofitted to be rifles. They would often shoot what's called bucket ball, which would be one large ball and 2 or 3 44 caliber pistol balls in a load. So it's more like a
Bless you.